What's up guys, Mike Gross here, rockinguitarlessons.com, and this is a tutorial explaining how you can take lessons without driving to a music store. You can take lessons in the privacy of your own home, on your lunch break at work if your boss is cool with it. I have been teaching full-time since, well, a couple decades, 1992, and recently, I believe in 2012, I started teaching on the internet, doing live one-on-one lessons and group lessons on Skype. All you need is to download Skype.com, and you need a webcam, and of course your acts of choice to get started. They're really cool. I'm glad I've went this route. It's now how I do it. This is I'm no longer in a music store. Teaching around the world, not just the United States, and getting results and getting people up and running, getting people prepared for bands. Many of my Skype students are actually in bands, so working on cover tunes, fine-tuning parts, how to take a song that is primarily piano and convert it to a guitar song, just all those things. It's a fun way to learn. You can even do the lesson in your bathroom. I haven't had that happen yet. I've had people go in their garage, their studio, lunch break at work, in front of their house. Those ones didn't work really good because you got to be somewhat close to your for Wi-Fi, you know, near your router or your what's the other one called? I don't know. But anyways, if that's something you'd be interested in, the things that we can work on are basically any and everything. It's just a lot of my Skype students were fine-tuning songs, and some of my students I'm helping write original material and you know, try to impart ideas and concepts to help you overcome whatever hurdle it is that you want to work on. So I'm very flexible with my teaching approach. I've taught all ages. I mean, the youngest would be my children, who some of them started at you know, 3 years old. And they all still play to this day. I do not prefer to do like an age thing. I know a lot of teachers, and a lot of them, it's like a 10 years and up, they will teach. I feel like if you have the desire and you want to learn and you want to put the time in, because if you're not going to put the time in, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time, my time. I want to help you. You got to have that desire. Music can be fun, very fun, and I think a lot of that depends on the teacher adjusting to you, and you got to have a click with your teacher. You got to be comfortable with your teacher, but really after the lesson it's about you know, putting the time in. I get asked this a lot, you know, when I have a student that's taking lessons, when the lesson's over, and by the way, they're usually 30 minutes or hour lessons once a week. Same day, same time each week, or bi-weekly. I have a few students that do an hour one week, like on the first week on a Tuesday, and then the third week on a Tuesday, but it's the same day, same time. But how much time should you invest when you're practicing? Obviously the more the better, but what I suggest, and I know from experience teaching, it is much better for you to start with a smaller amount of time and stay consistent with it during the week, whether it's Monday through Friday or whatever. If you can do all 7 days, cool. Or if you can only fit in 2 or 3 days, I'd rather you practice for 30 minutes on each of those days than let the whole week go by and then before your lesson try to just go over it and practice for an hour. That's not the most effective way to do it. So stay consistent with your practicing. I tell all my students, you know, we try to get a game plan for the ones that need it as far as having a practice regimen. And then I have a lot of students that already know, you know. If you're like me, your life is music and it's guitar and you just love it, you know, it's not like a punishing thing to have to go play. For me, it's how I survive. But, you know, there was a few years when I first married Jolene where I wasn't teaching. And all I thought about was my guitar. And so, you know, you adjust to your schedule. If you have a real busy schedule and you can't fit in lessons on Skype with me, private or group lessons, I offer another type of lessons called CVT lessons, and you can read up on that at my website, rockinguitarlessons.com. Basically, it's run the same way. Figuring out songs by ear. I don't use any other programs or other people's things. I just use my ear, which is one of the tools I acquired at a young age, and get these songs and solos the way that they were recorded, tab it out. Anyways, you can read up about that at the website. You can also read up a little more about taking private lessons on Skype. There is a tutorial on my website, but you got one here too. So check it out. You know, definitely check out the website. You can see the price breakdowns there. It's $59 per hour or $39 per half hour, or if you pay for multiple lessons during the month, you get a price break. And I'm not going to explain all that here. You can find that at rockinguitarlessons.com. It's all broken down really clear and easy. Other instruments taught outside of guitar by me are bass. Eventually I may do drums, but I'm just kind of too busy for that. So probably stick with the stringed instruments, guitar and bass. My wife Jolene is a vocal instructor. She's been teaching almost as long as me, probably, I don't know, I'd say probably 15, 16 years. She has a tutorial on the website as well. But if that's something you'd be interested in, email me, Mike at rockinguitarlessons.com, and you could read the description below. I have a description, those are filled out on every single one of my lessons and tutorials and everything. But basically that's the idea. Webcam, got to have a computer of course, or you can, I have a few students that will use their iPhone or whatever for it. If you're okay with it, you know, you got a smaller screen, but you know, I have students that sometimes they're out of town for work, and they will take a lesson at the hotel that they're in, you know, and if they don't have computer access there, I've had students actually do the lesson on their phone. As long as we get a good reception, that's all that matters, and 99% of the time there's no issue with it. There are some pointers that we can discuss when you contact me that I will give you as far as making sure we have the clearest reception during your lesson. And I won't go into that into details here. It's just some little tips that I've learned along the way and people have shared with me to make sure there's no glitches and stuff like that. Alright, so if that's something you'd be interested in, you got my email, contact me, we can set you up. Send me, if you can, as much information during that email, maybe how long you've been playing, some of your goals, some things you'd like to fine tune and work on, and that just gives me a little more of an idea of what you have, what your expectations are as a student. And if you're not sure, you just know you want to improve, that's what I'm for. This is what I do, and I'll know where to take you from there. All you need is a guitar, Skype, webcam, and we're ready to rock and roll. So, and if you end up taking lessons, I will give you my cell number. All my students have my cell number to contact me 24/7, because I get people asking me questions at 2 in the morning sometimes. But you got to think, you know, I'm Pacific Standard Time. So what time it is here could be a complete different time, in some cases a different day in other countries. So hit me up if you're interested, and be sure, like I said, to go check out my website, rockinguitarlessons.com. There's some free stuff on there and some exercises, some stuff you can kind of get going and get warmed up with. Exercises is something that you don't just conquer and don't do them again. It's something you want to keep with you, and we can discuss those things during your lessons with me. Alright, so until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.